Hello everyone. So this is the second part of the stars and the solar system lesson from class 8th, and in the previous part 1 you have taken the information about the constellation, means the celestial body, as well as some information about some constellations and information about sun and also some stars. Now see here, information about the sun you have learned in the previous part. So here in this part you are going to learn about the information of different planets. Now first planet is Mercury, which is also called as Budh. Now see here, this planet, Mercury planet, is the nearest planet to the sun. So this planet is very near to the sun, and this planet is the smallest planet of our solar system. Now here you can see again, this one is the smallest planet also, smallest planet and the nearest planet of the to the sun. So now this Mercury is smallest planet of our solar system, and because Mercury is very close to the sun, it is very difficult to observe it, as most of the time it is hidden in the glare of the sun. However, it can be observed just before sunrise or just after sunset near the horizon. So this Mercury shows phases like moons, and no life exists on the planet Mercury. So here is no life exists on planet Mercury, and Mercury has no satellite. How Earth has satellite, but here Mercury has no satellite. So this is information about the Mercury. Now Venus. So Venus is also called as Shukra. Venus is also called as Shukra. So this Venus is Earth's nearest planetary neighbor. Now you have learnt about Mercury. Mercury was very nearest to the sun, and here Venus is closest planet to the Earth. Now this planet, this Venus planet, is the brightest object in the night sky, and hottest planet is Venus. The planet Venus can be seen either as morning star in the eastern sky just before sunrise, as an evening star in the western sky just after sunset. Now Venus shows phases like moons, and Venus has no satellites. Venus is called as Shukra Graha in Hindi. So initially I told to all of you that. So Venus has no moons or satellites of its own, and rotation of Venus on its axis is somewhat unusual. So this Venus rotates from east to west, while Earth rotates from west to east. The important planet Earth, where we are living. So on this planet we are living, and this Earth is also called as Prithvi. So this Earth planet in the solar system on which the life exists. So on Earth we can see the life exists because there is a atmosphere. Why the life exists on the Earth? Because some environmental conditions are responsible for the existing of the life on the Earth. So Earth has one natural satellite, that is Moon, and it has 1072 artificial satellites. Earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution, and 24 hours to complete one rotation. Now see here, there is a proper temperature on the Earth, and there is a proper atmosphere on the Earth. So there is a blanket of ozone also on the Earth, and that's why on the Earth life is possible. So here you can see how life is possible on the Earth. If we compare another planets, there is no life, but on the Earth planet there is a life. Means on Prithvi there is a life. So why there is a life on the Earth? So reasons are, there is a proper atmosphere. Atmosphere means there are mixture of gases including oxygen and carbon dioxide, and large amount of water is present on the earth, as well as suitable temperature. Means atmosphere, water, suitable temperature, and the protective layer of ozone, or protective blanket of ozone. And that's why, because of all these reasons, life is possible on the earth. Now earth's rotation. So if you see here, the earth rotates or spins on an imaginary axis which passes through its north and south poles. So you have learnt in the geography this also. So these the axis of rotation of earth slightly tilted with respect to the plane of its orbit around us. So that axis of rotation of the earth is not perpendicular to the plane of its orbit, and the tilt is responsible for the change of the season. And because of this tilt, this tilt, there is a change in the seasons on the earth. So the important consequences of the motion of tilt earth around the sun, that is causes different seasons on the earth, such as summer season, winter season, like this way. So this change in season on the earth, just tilt is responsible for this change. And the earth has only one moon, you have learned. Now the next planet is Mars, which is also called as Mangal. And if you see, this also written in a red color font. So this Mars is also called as red planet. This is the next planet. The first outside orbit of the earth is Mars. It appears slightly red. So Mars is also called the red planet because its surface appears to be red. Means its surface appears to be slightly red, that's why it is called as red planet. So which planet is called as red planet? So answer will be Mars. So why it is called as red planet? Just because its surface appears red. Of all the planets, Mars is most like the Earth. The thin atmosphere of Mars contains mainly carbon dioxide with small amount of nitrogen, oxygen, noble gases and water vapor. Mars has two natural satellites. So here the two natural satellites are present on the Mars. So here also a thin atmosphere is present which contains the different gases, CO2, oxygen, nitrogen, noble gases and water vapor also present, and it has two natural satellites. The next planet is Jupiter planet, which is also called as Brihaspati. Now this Jupiter is the largest planet or biggest planet of the solar system. Here you can see this is the biggest planets of the solar system. Which is the biggest planet of the solar system? So Jupiter is the biggest planet of the solar system, and here it can fit 1300 Earths inside it. Now see here, this planet is so large that about 1300 Earths can be placed inside this giant planet. And but when compared to the sun, Jupiter is much more smaller than the sun. So if we compare to the sun, then it is smaller. But in the planet, the Jupiter is the biggest planet, largest planet. Now Jupiter's appears to be very bright object in the night sky, and Jupiter is made mainly of hydrogen and helium. By this the Jupiter is made, and Jupiter has 28 satellites. So here 28 satellites are there. So Jupiter has a number of satellites. Here it is 28 given. Now this Jupiter also has a faint rings around it. If you see with the telescope, then with the help of telescope you can also see 4 of its large moons. Now next, the Jupiter, there is the Saturn, which is also called as Shani. Now, beyond Jupiter is Saturn, which appears yellowish in color. See here, the Saturn is the second biggest planet in the solar system. First is the Jupiter and then the Saturn. So Saturn is also made with the mainly hydrogen and helium gases. Now, the most distinguishing feature of the Saturn is the system of the colorful rings around it. Presence of well-developed rings circling Saturn makes the planet unique in the solar system. Now, Saturn has 30 satellites. It is called Shani Graha in Hindi. So, see here, around the Saturn there is a beautiful ring, and this beautiful ring makes the Saturn unique in the solar system. So these rings are not visible with the naked eye. These rings are not visible with the naked eyes, but you can observe them with a small telescope. Saturn has also a large number of satellites. Now see here, one interesting thing about the Saturn is that it is the least dense among all the planets, and its density is less than that of water. This is also interesting thing about the Saturn. Now Uranus. Uranus was the planet to have been discovered with the help of a telescope. Uranus is the third biggest planet of the solar system. The most remarkable feature of Uranus is that its gas highly tilted axis of rotation, and Uranus appears to roll on its side while orbiting around the Sun. Uranus is made up of hydrogen and helium. The planet has 21 satellites. So this Uranus and Neptune, togetherly it is given in the book also. The planet Neptune is the farthest from the Sun. It is very far from the Sun. And see here, they can be seen only with the help of large telescopes. Neptune is the second planet which was discovered with the help of telescope. So Neptune is extremely cold planet. It's fourth largest planet of the solar system, and it has 8 satellites, and it is also called as Varun Graha in Hindi. So it is also called as Varun Graha. Now see here, the information about the Neptune and Uranus, it is given in book also. Now the most remarkable feature of Uranus is that it has highly tilted rotational axis. As a result, in its orbital motion, it appears to roll on its side. So first 4 planets are there: Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars are much nearer to the Sun than other 4 planets. They are called as inner planets, and the inner planets are very few. The inner planets have very few moons. So inner planet and outer planets are there again. Which are the outer planets? The planets outside of orbit Mars, namely Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. So these are the outer planets, and they are far away from the Sun. Now satellites. So satellite is nothing but it is the celestial object. Celestial object means, or celestial body means, the objects which are present in the sky. So these satellites which are celestial body, that revolves around a planet. Now Moon is a satellite which can revolve around the Earth, and Mercury and Venus does not have satellites as given in the previous slides. The satellites revolve around the planets due to the gravitational pull of the planets. We know that there is a gravitational pull, and because of that this satellites revolving around the planets. The satellites have no lights of their own. They don't have light of their own. They reflect the sunlight. So when sunlight falls on the satellites, that satellites reflect that sunlight. That's why they appears shiny, but they do not have their own light. So information about the Moon. The Moon is the satellite, but it is a natural satellite, and this natural satellite revolves around the Earth. The moon is the closest celestial object to the earth. It takes 29.5 days for the moon to rotate the earth. The surface of moon is covered with hard and loose dirt, then craters and mountains. That's why since there is no air and water, life is impossible on the moon surface. So on the moon surface there is no atmosphere, no water, and that's why life is not existing on the moon. This is about moon. So man on the moon. So we know that first man who landed on the moon was Neil Armstrong, followed by the Edwin Aldrin, and the last one Michael Collins of USA. And they were a crew of Apollo 11. They landed on July 1969. So this is the picture of these three persons. So where you can see these three persons land on the moon. Now phases of the moon and the moon's light. So phases of the moon and moon's light, here you can see we are able to see the moon because of sunlight falling on the moon reflected towards the earth. So we know that the moon is a satellite. The moon is a satellite and the moon do not have its own light. So when sunlight falls on the moon, that light is get reflected, and that's why we can see moon from the earth. Now the day on which the moon is not visible, that is called as new moon day. In Marathi we say Amavasya. So Amavasya or new moon day means in the sky the moon cannot visible, or moon is not visible in the sky. But the day on which the moon is appears, or the moon which is the whole bright disk of moon is visible to us, is called as full moon day, means Purnima. So on the full moon day we can see a complete moon or whole moon in the sky from the earth. So we have one new moon day and one full moon day during a month. So here it should be a full moon day. Here is some little correction. So we have one new moon day and one full moon day during a month. So in the month there is one full moon day and there is one new moon day, means one Amavasya and one Purnima. So as moon revolves around the earth once every month and moves around the sun along with the earth, different amount of its sun and the surface are turned towards the earth. Now see here, which can be changed in the shape of the moon and formation of the phases of moon. So every day after the full moon day, after the new moon day, we can see there is a change in the shape of the moon. There is a change in the shape and size of the moon. So all those are the phases of the moons. And here the next point is some other members of the solar system. So which are some other members? You have taken the information about the sun, planets, satellites. Instead of this again, there are some asteroid belts, comets and meteoroids, and some artificial satellites also present in the solar system. Now what is the asteroid? So asteroids are the small celestial objects which revolve around the sun. Means see, around the sun, these small celestial objects which are revolving around the sun, but where they are present? They are present in between the orbits of the Mars and Jupiter's. So in between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter's, there are some small objects which are revolving around the sun, that is called as asteroids. So these asteroids are also called as minor planets. Asteroids are the members of our solar system, and these astronomers believe that asteroids are the pieces of matter that were formed at the same time as the rest of the planets, which somehow could not assemble to form a major planet. So this is the belief of the astronomers, whatever they think about the asteroids. Now here you can see in this picture, here in between the Mars and the Jupiter, these small celestial objects are revolving around the sun. So these are nothing but these are the asteroids, and this completely shape is, this is called as asteroid belt. Asteroid belt. This is the picture of the asteroid. Now comets. So what are the comets? The comets are also nothing but it is the celestial objects, and this celestial object is made up of gas and dust which revolves around the sun in highly elliptical orbits. So these comets are also nothing but they are the celestial objects which are made up of gas and dust, and they are revolving around the sun but in highly elliptical orbits, and they become visible only when they come close to the sun. So otherwise they are not visible but when they come very close to the sun, then they are visible. Comets are smaller than the asteroids, so their size of the comets is smaller than the asteroids. The belt of revolution of the comets around the sun is very large, and Halley's comet has a period of revolution 76 years. It is last seen in 1986. So it is about the Halley's comet. So this Halley's comet was seen in 1986. So it appears after nearly every 76 years. Meteoroids or meteors and meteorites. Now see here, what are the meteoroids? So meteoroids are nothing but they are also a celestial objects which range in size from tiny sand grains to big boulders of the several hundred tons and revolve around the sun in their orbits. So these meteoroids are much smaller than the asteroids and comets. Now meteoroids are the celestial bodies from the sky which we see as a bright streak across the sky. The meteors are commonly called as shooting star. Now these meteors, some meteors are large and so they can reach on the earth before they evaporate completely. Now see here, these commonly shooting stars are known as meteors. So although they are not stars, they are called as meteors. The meteors is usually a small object that occasionally enters the earth atmosphere. At that time it has very high speed, and because of the friction due to the atmosphere heat it up and it glows and evaporates quickly, and that's why the bright streaks last for very short time. And some meteors are large and so they can reach on the earth before they evaporate completely, and the body that reaches the earth is called as meteoroid. A meteoroid helps scientists to investigate the nature of the material from which the solar system was formed. So here also the information I told to all of you. See here, when the meteors enters in the atmosphere, because of friction with the atmosphere it gets heat up and starts burning. So sometimes because of this heat it get evaporated, but if it is large in size it can reach on the earth. Next point is artificial satellite. If you see here, the artificial satellites mean it is made by man or human being. A man-made spacecraft placed in the orbit around the earth is called as artificial satellite. So satellites, there are natural satellites also, but this artificial means this is made by human being and placed in the orbit around the earth for the different purposes. Artificial satellites, now so it is located on the ionosphere of the earth. The motion of the artificial satellites around the earth is maintained by the gravitational pull of the earth. There are 1072 artificial satellites in the world, in which 50% are Americans. Now see here, many satellites are revolving around the earth, not from our India. Many countries they send their own satellites, artificial satellites, and for the different purposes. So near about 1072 satellites are there, and now from them 50% are made by the American people only, and they launched from the earth They revolve around the earth for the different purposes. Now here the difference between the artificial satellite and moon. So you have learnt about the moon. Moon is also a satellite, but it is natural satellite, and this one is the artificial satellite. So what is the main difference in between these two? So the first main difference is that artificial satellites are much nearer to the earth than the moon. If we compare which is the close to the earth, so definitely the artificial satellite is very close to the earth than the moon. So the highest height of the artificial satellite from the earth can be adjusted according to our needs, but the height of moon we cannot adjust according to our need. So this is impossible for the moon, but it is possible for the artificial satellites. Now artificial satellites carry a large variety of equipments and instruments inside them, and the electricity required for running the equipment in an artificial satellites is provided by the solar cells. The technique of the collecting information about an object from the distance without making any physical contact with the object is called remote sensation. Now see here, a remote sensing. So this is about the artificial satellite. So this is the picture of the artificial satellites which revolves around the earth to collect the information. It cannot come directly with the contact with the object, but it takes the information of the objects and gives to the scientist for the further study. Now what is the use of the artificial satellite? Applications of the artificial satellites means uses. Application means why it is useful. So here are some applications which we can see here. First application, first use is for the communication, such as long distance transmission of television, radio and internet. So see here, this artificial satellite is very helpful for the communication, used for the communication for the communication for the long distances, transmission of television and radio and internet also. Artificial satellites are used for the weather forecasting, advance warning of floods and cyclones. So this satellite collect the information of weather and provide to us. So before in advance we can come to know where the cyclone is going to hit, where the flood situation is there. So all this information can be collected with the help of artificial satellite. And with the help of artificial satellites only, the cricket match which is going in other country, we can see that live match we can see in our home by sitting in front of our TV. Just it is possible just because of artificial satellites. Now these artificial satellites are very useful for the surviving of the natural resources of the earth. Surveying of the natural resources means we can do survey of our natural resources which are present on the earth. So this survey is just possible because of this artificial satellites. Now again, this artificial satellite also used for the military purpose. Now see here, for what? Means military purpose means like observing the movement of enemy, again the military equipment, taking pictures of enemy fields. So here in the news also we have seen about the China, how the China enter in our area, how they have covered or how they have occupied some area of our India. So with the help of artificial satellites we can get the information about the movement of the enemy troops, their military equipments, and by the pictures of that field. So these artificial satellites are used to collect the information about other planets, stars and galaxies also. So these are the uses of the artificial satellites or application of the artificial satellites. Now Aryabhatta. See here, this Aryabhatta is the first Indian satellite. India has built and launched several artificial satellites. Aryabhatta was the first Indian satellite. The first artificial satellite launched by India is Aryabhatta. Some other Indian satellites are Bhaskara, INSAT, IRS, Rohini, Kalpana 1, EduSat. So these are also some other artificial satellites The agency responsible for development of the space science programs in our country is Indian Space Research Organization, which is called as ISRO. So ISRO is a short form and its long form is Indian Space Research Organization. So this is responsible for the development of the space science programs in our country. So in this way you have learned the whole information about the stars and the solar system. Thank you.